Hello, this is Tanyag with Tanyag Company. I'm the managing partner. Tanyag Company is a business advising consulting firm that provides result-driven consulting for small businesses by inspiring them to double their income to build a lifestyle, not just a business. Today we're doing our monthly video. This is the video that I present at my First Friday, and First Friday is the first Friday of the month, which is part of the Real Estate and Affiliates Growth Forum. It's a meeting every month, again, the first Friday at Simply Fresh at Town Center from 11:31 for real estate agents, realtors, and affiliates, so we can connect, discuss, and share resources where we work on the business. And I've been doing it for about 2 years, and today we had a pretty good turnout, probably about 18 people, despite the fact it was a short week because of July 4th holiday. Today I'm going to be talking about unique gifts with the purpose of increasing referrals and gaining new business. Again, unique gifts with the purpose of increasing referrals and gaining new business. In the video, I will talk about this concept about unique gifts, and I actually experienced it. Then in the notes, you can request for a list of unique gifts that I've kind of sourced out in the area. I actually did a review of Giftology by John Ruhlin, took every chapter, wrote some key points, and you can get my notes that explains the whole presentation and what I was talking about. And then on the notes, they actually had some links to a podcast and some videos about John Ruhlin's book, which really explains this whole concept of Giftology. So let me give you a little bio of myself. Again, Arnell Tanyag with Tanyag Company. We live in Virginia Beach. Type of businesses I've been in before. I was a newspaper boy, and I was an 8404 medic, Desert Storm veteran. I had my bachelor's in science and nursing. I did register nurse at Centera for about a couple years. Originally was the first area director of BNI 20 years ago. I'm married with my wife, Janice Tanyag. I have 3 kids, Kyle, Zoe, and Nathan. Kyle's 19, Zoe's 13, and Nathan is 6. We have a cat, it's Snow. Love reading, marketing books, Christian books, activities, interest, spending time with my wife and my kids, and just love the fact of just enjoying life. So today I'm going to go ahead and get into the topic. It's unique gifts with the purpose of increasing referrals and gaining new business. So the reason I chose this talk, because I was a recipient of a true giver. And many people know, because I posted a Facebook Live video back in December 26, 2016, because we had a house fire in the house we rented. And so we had a house fire and we displaced, stayed at my sister's, and I had to grow the business. And so I was introduced at a gentleman, a networking event. And the first meeting we met at Barnes & Noble. And at the first meeting, really great guy. We talked really well, but he had a gift bag. In the gift bag, he had a gift which was chocolate for my wife and a game for my kids. And I was like, okay, I got this bag. And the first inclination is, okay, what's the catch? In all my years of networking, very rare have I ever got a gift. And when I connected with the gentleman, we connected really well. He's a giver, I'm a giver. We're talking about, he reads a lot of books, I read a lot of books, and we're sharing philosophies of giving and networking. But I was still caught off guard when I got this gift bag. I was like, okay, hold on now. What's the catch? And the funny thing, he said, I read the book Giftology, and he lives by giving. So, okay, I said, well, I never read the book Giftology. And then a couple weeks later, I'm in a coaching program with Mike Mayer, and he says, hey, one of the webinars we had John Ruhlin, who wrote the book Giftology. I said, Giftology? I said, well, that's just the book that so-and-so recommended. So it was an hour webinar, and John talked about his book and how he basically built his business by basically teaching people how to give gifts, gifts that really wow people. And it was interesting, because I after I went to the webinar, I bought the book, read it, and I started thinking about it in my history of gifts, what I've done. I mean, I've done gifts before, but never strategically, never relationship based. It was hitting off. It was hit here, off here. I was given what I call gifts of convenience and promotion. And convenience is gift cards, promotions, promoting my stuff. But it never felt well. And it was interesting when I was listening to John Ruhlin speak. I remember there was a gentleman of mine who actually gave me it was funny, I think I have it. He gave me a knife, and in the knife It was a Cutco knife, and it was beautiful. I mean, I've kept that knife for 15 years. But on the knife that really blew me away, not only was it a good knife, but it was a promotional knife. The person who sold them told him to put his name, his company's logo on it, and give it as a gift. Well, I kept the knife, but I couldn't remember why he gave me the gift. The knife was so good, but it wasn't positioned well. And if it had said my name on it, hey, this is, to you, Arnell Tanyag, this is, to you, Arnell Tanyag, and just put it there with his name on it and say, hey, I'm giving it to you because you've been a great friend, and I just want to build our professional relationship. And he gave me that knife with my name on it. Man, every time I picked up the knife, I'm thinking, oh man, it's great. But as soon as I saw the logo and his name on it, and this guy is a great guy, don't take me wrong, I just didn't, there wasn't that type of connection. I think it was all about him. And it was interesting that came to mind because I remember when he had the house fire, I mean, I got these nice hand-painted glasses by Becca. And she wanted to, she knew that we had a fire, we lost almost 75% of our stuff. So she gave us hand-painted glasses that's called Chateau Tanyag. It was glasses that marked, like our first glasses for our new home. Beautiful. I had a pair for my wife and I kept it. So every time I see those glasses, there's wine glasses, I think of her. So I was so amazed and blown away with that I thanked her. I started using those glasses as gifts, and I've already given to like one realtor as a thank you for having her speak at her office, and I use that because it stands out. And it's funny, I just had a closing a long time ago because we got a condo, and it's funny, my realtor gave me a unique gift because he knew we were getting a foreclosure as is, so we couldn't repair anything. So he said, hey Arnell, don't worry about this, I'm gonna give you peace of mind. I'm gonna get you a home warranty, so if anything breaks down, you can just call the number, pay the money, and they'll come fix it. And so not even the first week, we had our knobs on our washer and dryer broke down. There was a leak, one of the tubes in the refrigerator got flooded and started leaking. So I was thinking, oh my God, if we have to pay out of our pocket, figure it out. So we just called the home warranty company. It came out, paid $100, and they fixed it. It was so every time there's an issue or problem, I think of him because it's practicality. And then another vendor gave me one of those ice bags, but it had their logo on it, And so I was like, it's a nice ice bag, and I use it, but I don't want to bring it in public because I don't want to promote the company. I don't have a relationship with the company. I mean, I don't even know the brand. I don't have a relationship with the brand. And even in John Ruhn's book, it said, and it's interesting. It says the relationships, the gifts, really show how you appreciate and value the relationship. It shows how you show love and affection. And I was thinking, what? I mean, and I was thinking, man, I'm seeing so many people give gifts, but it's gifts of convenience or promotion, and they think that's going to get them referrals. And what I found out, totally opposite. Before you can get referrals, you have to have positive word of mouth. And if you keep asking people referrals and you have no positive word of mouth, so what do you mean positive word of mouth? If I go and give gifts throughout the year, like one of the things I've been doing is, as a thank you, so I have workshops and events, people invite people to it because it brings value. But every time somebody invites somebody, I invite them to a vodka tasting at Chesapeake Distillery, and then I have the catering barter out with the Barter Authority, and literally it's a great gift. I mean, it's a gift. I call it's appreciation. Yeah, I appreciate the people because they're writing and spreading the word, and I pay for the vodka tasting and I pay for the food. Now let me tell you, it's goodwill. I mean, goodwill. People talk about my company, my generosity, and help. And I do that for people who invite people to guests. And if somebody gives me a referral that actually turns a client, I do it something that's special. And the other thing I've learned in the book, and I've taken it to heart, our philosophy is build a lifestyle, not just a business. I have to facilitate. I just can't tell people that's what we do. I show them. So I remember I literally bought some tickets so several of my clients, because a lot of my clients have kids and love baseball. So I just bought tickets. Probably bought about, 8, 16. I think I bought like over 15 tickets for the Hampton Roads Realtor the event on Tuesday, and I bought tickets for 3 families, and they actually spent time with family. I said, just tag the picture, let me know, because I want to see you have fun. That was it. Because what I wanted to do is, based on the book and based on what my belief is I want to wow and maintain the relationship with people, because it creates word of mouth, it creates referrals. So, and the reason I'm telling you this is because what you have to decide, and for you, are you giving gifts of convenience and promotion? Or are you really giving gifts that can wow, that can show that you're different, that you can stand out? And remember that gentleman I told you who gave me that first gift? Well, lo and behold, he gave me another gift. He gave me another gift called Built to Sell, a book. And so I read that book over a weekend, and it took me about 2 weeks to read it. And it clicked. It was a book about how to sell your business if you're a service-based company. So I really read the book, and I called the guy and said, hey, thanks for the book. I've given it to several of my clients, and I really took that book, and now I know how to scale. I mean, how to create my business to replace me and have other people do it. And during that time, he's given me another couple books and a little money to give my kids. And that whole time, I really appreciate it. He sends me gifts like that. I have sent him gifts. I made introductions to people because he's out in Suffolk. So anyone I know in Suffolk, I introduce him. I say, hey, here's a great guy you want to meet. He's really active. He's positive. He's a great connector. And I just introduced them people, and they start and he has a business where he has to have people walk in there, and I just introduce it. So we're giving back and forth, and we enjoy giving back and forth. But it was interesting because I was a recipient of gifts, and we still maintain our relationship back and forth. And it's interesting that and he's just giving gifts that are important to me, and I'm giving introductions to him and giving gifts that are important to him. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to share with you 3 activities that and this is basically my opinion on how you can use unique gifts. Activity 1, you want to give unique gifts based on appreciation and gratitude based on these 3 categories. Category 1, gifts of practical value. What kind of gifts could you give that it provides practical value? Like my realtor gave me a gift of home warranty. That's practical. I mean, it gives my wife and I peace of mind, especially me, because I just want to get it fixed. I own a business. I don't have time to do it myself. And I really am not a good do-it-yourself guy. And he talks about in the book engraving paring knives, where you put the name of the client or their spouse, a pizza cutter. If you're working a business owner, an engraved letter opener. If they're a real estate broker, a nice blue pen. I mean, a nice like the Waterman pen, nice pen. Another category I call gift of thoughtfulness. Like I have a client that's going on an Alaskan King cruise, and I was thinking, man, he came to my workshop, gave a great testimonial, helped me close 2 or 3 people. So you know what? He's going on an Alaskan King cruise. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go on Amazon, first do some research, go on Amazon, and so I got him a little gift bag. Spent about $50 on some stuff, and gave it to him. I said, hey man, I'm giving this to you because I know you're going this gift. And I really wanted to show my appreciation for you coming, and I thought this will be helpful for you. And he was saying, man, everybody talks about building relationships, but very few people show it. I said, I know. They talk about building it, but they very rare show it. And the thing about I love about Mike or Mayor, show your care, show your generosity. John Ruhlin, show, don't just tell. So that's gift of thoughtfulness. And if you don't want to spend a lot of money, then here's what I suggest is write a very nice thank you note on excellent or superb stationery. So one of the things I have stationery I bought at, I think Target, like 50 for like $5 or 50 for $10. So nice stationery. But what I'm going to do is once I go through all that, I'm going to buy nice thank you cards. Really nice thank you cards. When you feel it, you go, man, I really like to feel that paper. Because I believe what John Ruhlin said, if you don't have a brochure, give things like your business card, your stationery, that's really nice. That people go, wow, it just feels elegant or excellent. What does this person do? And I was like, yeah, that's not a bad idea. So that's a gift of thoughtfulness. And the other one is I call gift of time. We're so busy right now that people don't have time. So like I do these vodka tastings and stuff like that. So I want to thank people, and then they come, they spend time with their spouse, significant other, or friend, and they go on a date night, and they do these things, and it's amazing because in my business I work with business owners. They don't take vacations, but you have to help them get their business up and running, facilitate. So I give gifts of time. And so it's either gifts of time, or I call practical gifts of practical value, or gifts of thoughtfulness. So, and I do that often, and I'm always looking for that. And I believe that helps me stand out and gives me good word of mouth. Activity 2 is you want to gather the information from the people so you can develop a relationship. If you meet with people 6 or 7 times and you don't gather the information, it's really hard to build that relationship and find out what their favorite is. One of the things you can do is when you go in the office, look at their pictures, look at what's on their wall. That tells you what they are favorite. But then I have a form called Creating Depth, which talks about their personality, their communication, what their favorite restaurant, what their favorite thing. Then I ask them, what's your favorite day? I ask them, if you had time and money today, what are some favorite things you would love to do you don't get to do? What's your bucket list? So I'm always thinking about, okay, what can I do to show I care because I'm knowing, but then if in situations that I can give to them these unique gifts that can stand out, I'm looking for that. And activity 3 is create a plan. Starting unique gifts, because it says in the book, which I believe, is give when people don't expect, like 4th of July, Labor Day, what else? St. Patrick's Day, like 2 or 3 times a year that people don't expect gifts. Don't give it on Christmas. People expect on the birthday, give it something unique. And it says you don't have to give a lot. You just have to give the best gift in your budget. Like if you only have $25, give them the best coffee mug. Give them the best pen for that price range. But in activity 3, create a plan. And I usually tell people, look at your best referral sources who have given you referrals and figure out how to give them unique gifts throughout the year. Give them something that stands out for them, that's important to them. And then what happens is they remember you, they think about you. And one of the things in the book it talks about, if you give them something that they always pick up, they always have to use, and they enjoy it, they'll take pictures of it, they'll show it to people, they'll say, hey, and they'll think about you. And that's the hardest thing is, them thinking about you outside of your service. And so one of the things that John Ruhlen's saying is that you really have to think of gifts strategically that have the wow factor, but also the value of something you've done to make their lives easier. And it talks about doing the gifts for the inner circle. So you create a plan, you gather information, have a form if you want to that helps you figure out what their favorite. And the other thing is just figure out the gifts. So what I do in my company is every client I figure out some type of activity to give back to them that I'll pay out of my marketing budget for them to enjoy life. And then during the time, if they give me an introduction, a referral, or I see something thoughtful this, I'll give. So I do market. I spend about $200 to $300 a month, sometimes a little bit more, on gift giving. And what I've noticed is the word of mouth increases by 10, 20, 30%, then the referrals come. And then people think about me not because I do produce good results. That's not the only thing, but they think about me because I care and I stand out. Because my company's whole built is on relationships, valuing relationships, getting people to refer, or I highly think introduce. But we do that solely based on how we maintain and build that network and deepen those relationships. And the last thing, what you have to decide, the bottom line, is do you want to stand out? Do you want people to be wowed? Do you want people to remember you? Not only because of the service, but the things you put in their lives that they cherish, that they know you care, that you are just not giving them gifts of convenience, but you're giving them gifts of value, giving them gifts of appreciation, giving gifts of generosity. Because today, if you're not doing any of the things I mentioned earlier, you're only giving gifts of convenience and gifts of promotion. And so my question is, how are you going to help your business grow if you can't stand out? And you have to decide today, do you want to stand out? And you don't have to spend thousands of dollars. Find gifts that just have you stand out. So the bottom line, do you want your business to grow? And one of the ways you can is use the things I talk about today in the notes and the resource I send you, not only part of this video, or do you just be like everybody else and be part of the crowd? Again, this is Arnell Tanyag with Tanyag Company. I hope this information was very helpful. I know it changed my business the last 4 or 5 months thanks to Michael Mayer and John Ruhlen. And I mean, I get introductions. I get about 10 to 15 introductions a month. Some of them better, some are not. I get referrals to people who want clients, and because I believe you have to have word of mouth, it gets referrals. But what's even more important, you have to build that word of mouth. And one of the ways to build the word of mouth is provide unique gifts. Again, this is Arnell Tanyag. If you have any questions, comments, put in the comment. If you really want to talk to me or ask me any questions about this, don't hesitate to call my office, 757-752-8169, 757-752-8169. Thanks a lot. All right, bye.